Good evening, all. Yeah, I'll wait for another 1 minute for people to join in. Okay, so we shall start. So, good evening and warm welcome to all educators joining us today. On behalf of CENTA, we are delighted to have you with us for other insightful session in our ongoing CENTA webinar series for teacher, a space where passionate educators come together to learn, reflect, grow professionally. Your presence and participation continue to inspire us as we build a stronger and more empowered teaching community. Now it's our pleasure to invite and introduce our facilitator for this transformative session, Ms. Pooja Sharma. Pooja Sharma is a former physics teacher and innovation mindset and 21st century skills coach with 10 to 20 years of experience and founder of Think 21. Welcome, ma'am. She is trained in social, economical, and ethical learning, system thinking, and the science of well-being for teens. She works with schools and with clarity, self awareness, and future ready skills in students, and is associated with such initiatives such as School Youth Idea Ministry of Skill Development and AI India Thinkpreneur 2025. She has also mentored grades 9 to 12 lab, supporting career readiness, exploration, and access to internships and scholarships. Her mission is to empower 1 lakh 2026 through innovation, purpose, and 21st century skills. It's pleasure, ma'am. Welcome, Pooja, ma'am, once again, and over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Anjali ma'am, for introducing me. And I welcome you all in today's webinar. This is about building entrepreneurial and innovation mindset among school students. Thank you, ma'am. So, having our session on building entrepreneurial and innovator mindset, I welcome you all to a great learning. And in this session, the main focus is about thinking how our students think, respond, and act in changing world. And by the end of this session, my intention is clear. It is about to help you see entrepreneurship and innovation differently for our school students and to notice some mindset to some behaviors which are already present in our class and to make some small but practical shifts which already aligns with naturally with national education policy 2020. um, yeah. So, before we move forward, I would like to hear from you all. So, I would like to have the question number one. According to you, what are students struggling with the most in today's scenario? So, Praveen sir, is the question visible to all of you? Yeah. Okay. So, I would like to have your opinion according to you, what you observe in your classrooms. What, when the scenario has changed, it's in rapid world, what students struggle with the most? Uh, Mostly, I hear words such as lack of motivation, lack of discipline, lack of emotional regulation or focus, and confusion, anxiety, and already stress. So, the poll is live now. So, whoa, wow. I'm getting a lot of like comments here. Lack of confidence, focus, lack of concentration, lack of motivation. Yeah, actually, all of the responses are right. These all are real. We are actually living in the world where this is the reality. But these are, when we notice something, these are actually not the academic capabilities. What we are struggling, what we are worried about the most are actually inner capabilities, which our student want. Yeah. So these, when we are saying lack of concentration, lack of focus, lack of emotional regulation, or lack of motivation, these are not appearing randomly. These are appearing because the environment is changing rapidly. Instead of our education, the environment is rapidly, like in every 2 or 3 months some revolution is coming, AI is coming, so the environment is being changed. That's why these kind of changes are happening. So when we are talking about these kind of changes, we must see environment and the alignment between the environment and the education. So let us go back uh, in 2015, around 10 years ago, when the world was simpler. We had uh, limited choices. Information was limited. We had clear academic goals, clear academic paths, and the pace of the change was slower. Then, if the student could memorize well, if the student could follow the instruction, or they can be attentive for longer periods, they usually did fine. That was good for them because the environment was allowing this that kind of education. So that kind of education will remain effective if the environment remains the same. If the environment is changing, there is misalignment. Now, coming to our current reality, this we are living in 2026. So the environment is completely changed. Today, students, the environment in which they are growing up, they are learning, it has completely changed. Information overload is there. They have constant digital stimulation, and they have like pace of change is rapid. The career paths are not fixed, means like they are unlimited, and they are mostly open ended. So in that time, if we follow the same kind of education, it will not going to help us. In this kind of situation, memorization will not work. In this kind of situation, following instruction will not help. So when children are having lots of information at every topic, they need clear thinking, they need decision making to choose from the noise. They need to regulate themselves because stimulation is everywhere. They need uh, purpose because career paths are open ended and we have lots of new career paths emerged. So we can just observe as teacher that these kind of changes are not actually subject specific. These are actually inner capabilities. Like, we need to build our students inner capabilities to navigate in today's world. So let's have our question number 2, in which I want to ask you, which kind, when we are talking about the environment has changed and the education is now uh, demanding clear thinking, decision making, emotional regulation, that then I want to ask you, according to you as a teacher, which outcome today's education matters the most? So, Praveen sir, please post that question number 2. Yeah, so the poll is live now. Because as teacher, we already are in engagement with the students. We already are observing lots of struggles and lots of changes which are going on with students and with the system. Yes. Okay, I'm getting so many comments. Students are confused with the purpose as multiple things come to them and they are not having those guidance and positive motivation to give them clarity. Yeah, ma'am, this is right. Okay, so I'm getting results. Responsible decision making. Yeah. So, being a teacher, I feel like most of us are not feeling to pick any one of those responses because all of these responses are feeling like important to understand themselves. Yes. So when we are talking about outcomes, what matters most today? Without clear thinking, how can one make responsible decision? Yeah, very right. So when we are talking about what matters most for our student today, actually having all kinds of responses, this is already our insight that without a clear thinking, high marks cannot be attained. Without decision making, responsible decision making, uh, it can cause harm. Clear thinking needs to choose from noise. And when anyone is allowed to work in pressure, to work in stress, he need to be clear in his own thinking, in his own choice. That's when we come overall purpose, like what we want to do from our education. So actually, when we go back and we just try out what was true education of the purpose, so it was actually not for to pass an exam, not to prepare children to pass exam, not to prepare children for some specific careers, but to prepare children for life. That was really the purpose of the education, to understand, to make children understand themselves first, and then to understand the system they live in, and to act and respond responsibly inside the world they live in. That is actually the true purpose. But when we are talking about this purpose cannot be achieved through pressure, through creating fear, or through any exam. When we want our children to act responsibly, to decide wisely with awareness, and to communicate and collaborate with with the people around them, they can only come when we are able to grow children as positive, grow children with positive and productive mindset. Only productive mindset can think clearly, and only positive minds can work, collaborate, and communicate, like cooperate inside the world. It can't come, the collaboration doesn't come through sitting beside our classmates. It can only come when we work with them. Clear thinking cannot be developed through worksheet or through lectures. It can be only taught when we are saying them, when we are allowing them to think themselves. So these are actually not extra skills. These are human capacities which our students now need to live, decide, and contribute well in the world which is changing rapidly. Okay, so now when we have talked about the purpose of the education, and we have talked about the environment which has been changed, now that comes 21st century skills in the scenario. So, to meet the true purpose of education, these skills actually emerge as response. These are actually tools, the updated tools, which allow us to teach these skills to our students. These skills are generally at the intersection of learning, life, and literacy skills. These skills are actually thinking skills, because whatever we want our students from, like clear thinking, decision making, responsibility, collaboration, emotional regulation, all of these things starts from thinking, from having that intention. So when we talk about 21st century skills, these are a set of skills like learning skills. In learning skills, we have four C's: critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and communication. These all skills actually needed in today's environment, due to, like already we have talked, the environment has changed. So we need to keep in mind environment when we are going through these 21st century skills. The environment has changed, that's why critical thinking is required. Children are now studying from AI, from Google, from podcasts, from YouTube, from chatbots, from books, and lots of sources are there. They need the skill, which one to rely, which one to grasp, and which one is authentic. That means, other than that, when AI has all the answers, in seconds AI can give all the answers which can be which cannot be read or grasped by the humans. Then at that time, creativity is the skill which is required by our students. Also collaboration and communication to work effectively with other members, other partners. The other skills are literacy skills. So when we are saying literacy skills in 21st century, they doesn't mean reading and writing. Actually, these skills are understanding how AI works, how technology works, and this also can generate biases, polarize, because the people who are developing AI, who are training AI, they are they are not like from different backgrounds. They are like they may differ. They are not inculcating, they are not including diverse thinking, diverse perspective, different region cultures, different culture of the different countries. So their answers will be different from our region, our locality. So by understanding these kinds of skill, children will be able to use technology purposefully, safely, and responsibly. Without understanding or having these kind of skill, information is not productive. It's going to overwhelm our students. After that, life skills. As we said, the pace of the change is rapid. So self management is essential today for our student. When stimulation is everywhere, when we have lots of choices of entertainment, of distraction, we need to know, our children need to know which one is my priority and how should I manage myself, how should I manage my priorities, my learnings, and my interests. Other than that, self leadership. In inside that leadership, self leadership comes first, and then leading with people. Flexibility, because when we are saying change is rapid, so we need to adapt because environment is changing rapidly, our needs are changing rapidly, careers are changing rapidly, and so are society. So when we are done with the 21st century skills, these are actually 21st century skills. Now, what kind of methods we should use to teach our students 21st century skills? Because 21st century skills are generally inner capabilities, clear thinking, decision making, critical thinking. So these thinking cannot be generated, cannot be developed through explanation, through lectures or worksheet. These kind of skills can be generated, can be developed through experiencing these situations. These are the skills which are practiced. So entrepreneurship and innovation actually give our students the learning spaces where children can experience and practice those skills which are actually 21st century skills. When we say entrepreneurship and innovation, these are skills which are when a student is allowed to think on his own, he is actually being creative. And when he is allowed to build something of his own, system or any project or any method, he owes ownership. So even if it fails, he develops resilience. So the learning is happening here. Problem solving is happening here. When a child is saying uh, innovation, it doesn't mean about AI and apps. It's about critical thinking, which which he has to do in collaboration with his peers or with the society. Because when we are saying about innovation or entrepreneurship, it doesn't happen in silos. Any entrepreneur, he he's building something for the customer. So he has to target people. So he has to notice the problem of the people. He has to enter in their shoes. So that's how the children learn collaboration and society, the relation with the society enhances. So when we are saying entrepreneurial and innovation mindset, these both skill actually develop mindset that helps child our student to adapt, learn continuously and stay relevant in the world which is rapidly changing. Okay. So now let us move to our question number 3. Praveen sir, question number 3. So I want to ask you as teachers, which of these behavior you already see in your students? The options are students which are asking why, students which are suggesting better ways, students which are taking initiative, or who are organizing peers. Okay, so I'm getting answers like asking questions during the class why this happened. Okay, students student can't decide what to do. It also help understand SWOT analysis. Okay, asking why. Okay, giving importance to why. Yeah, you are very right. Asking why again. Okay, so if you are nodding to any one of those, you are actually feeling that mindset in your classroom that already exists. Because when we are talking about entrepreneurship in school, it doesn't really it doesn't really put business or money at its first place. It's putting a positive change at its first place. So when we are observing a behavior where students is asking why, where a student is questioning the existing system, where a student is suggesting change, or organizing our peers, these are actually behaviors which are shown by entrepreneurs. So, when we are talking about entrepreneurship in school, it's actually a way of thinking and acting. Okay, so the poll results have come where Y have got 58%, taking initiative have got 20%, suggesting better ways has 14%, and organizing peers has 8%. Okay, great. So now, uh, when we are talking about entrepreneurship, we it's it's being placed in our school system differently. We put positive change at first because we are teaching entrepreneurship as mindset, as a kind of response, a kind of learning method to our student, where we help them to notice problems, to have empathy with the people, and to creatively try to solve their problem. There are many entrepreneurs which already help people. They work for protecting planet or protecting people's rights or helping them in any ways, improving the communities. Okay, now when we see as teachers, when we encounter every day with within our class some student behaviors, like we just need to notice some behavior which are already exist in our classroom. Because when we are talking about entrepreneurship, we just need not to teach them entrepreneurship. We need not to create anything from scratch. We just need to notice some behaviors, notice some responses. When a student asks why, when they suggest any improvement, they take initiative or learn from mistake, they organize their peers, they are actually showing some traits, some behaviors which are which comes under 21st century skills and also as entrepreneurial skills. Our role as teacher is just to notice and nurture those skills, because when we are entertaining whys, they are we are building up their confidence to raise question, to be confident in themselves and raise questions on existing systems, on existing understandings. When they suggest some improvements, we are supporting, we are encouraging them to try, to take action, or take their own intelligence, their own experiences into action, their learning into action. When they are appearing, when they are taking initiative, we are actually supporting or we are encouraging them to take lead. Because most entrepreneurs are the people who just can't ignore the problems which are faced by people or self, which everyone ignores. They can't do that. So taking lead is a very important trait behavior. The children who learn from mistakes, because resilience is the most important behavior which every entrepreneur must show, and it also is a 21st century skill. Um, so now let us take our thinking, our behavior, everything to next level, outside our classroom to the real world. Because when we are talking about behaviors or some traits or some skills, when they meet to real world, when they are applied in the real world, they becomes entrepreneurial, real change maker impact. So I'm bringing here real life inspiration, Anshu Gupta, who is a founder of Goonj organization. He was actually a journalist. So during his work, he traveled to Uttarkashi during a disastrous moment of an earthquake, which was so disastrous that it killed over 700 people there. He saw something unsettled him. He observed people in that disastrous condition. They were lacking food, they were lacking shelter, but the severe cold was the most shookable, the most like it has like a severe cold was there. So the people, he met an elderly person who was shivering and who was repeatedly asking for a blanket. The aids were available, but Anshu Gupta saw the disparity among the aid available and the actual need of the people. Food was available, that shelter was available, but most people did not have blanket or warm clothes. So he saw the person die in front of him. So that emotional moment made him unsettled. After that, during a visit in Delhi, he met another person. He used to earn by picking dead bodies from the roadside and take them from cremation, and that was the source of his earning. That moment made Anshu Gupta unsettled, like it shook him from inside. It made him question that he used to see lots of clothes available which are unused, forgotten, and discarded in cities. But people living in villages or the roadside are losing their life for them. He noticed clothes are not just for comfort, they are the survival, they are the dignity. So he decided. He did not took any permission from uh, startup. He did not took any fund. He did not took any permission. He is himself taking the responsibility, started an initiative, collected 67 around clothes from his own wardrobe, and started the project Cloth for Work. And here also he made one important decision. He decided to give clothes in turn of work, labor, in turn of labor, or any kind of effort or their volunteerness. He believed when people are when people can see the effort, the outcome of their effort, of their work, in a way like to build, to repair a school building, to clean a house, to clean a school, or the to just repair the roads, it builds people's self confidence, self belief. They believe in themselves that their work, their effort is also important. So that's how he started Goonj. Through this work, millions received clothing, and villagers built infrastructure using cloth as currency, and waste redefined its value. Now, these stories are actually important for our classrooms, not because these are teaching them entrepreneurship, because teaching them what matters most. It teaches them the thinking route, the thinking pattern. It teaches them how our observation skill leads to problem solving, leads to identify what is the real problem, how our intention gives us courage to lead, and we can use local resources creatively. To be an entrepreneur, it is not important always to have to keep money as the first purpose, or the uh, like the final destination. To build, to build communities, to help people, and to contribute in our society, it gives satisfaction and fullness, and also along with that also helps in generating revenues, because Anshu Gupta is also an entrepreneur. When he is when he is collecting clothes, he is making some he is upcycling, making some bags or other items with the clothes and selling them, and the other ways also he is using. So that's how in our school curriculum, or not curriculum, teachers, like, we can use real life stories to teach our students these kind of thinking pattern. Now, innovation. Innovation is a fancy word now, which uh, whenever comes in our mind, we just think about app, technology, AI, and robotics. But innovation is not limited to technology. It is a part of it. Like technology and STEM, this is a part of it. But innovation actually start when we start to think differently. So when we talk about innovation, we need to just target our students thinking route. We need to signal those kind of thinking. We need to nurture them, through which they can develop fresh perspective, they can develop better ideas, solution, through which we can make life, our communities, ourselves, our world, everyone's life simpler and more meaningful. So that's why I'm presenting you the real life stories here, because when we connect to real life stories, we feel innovation as possibility. When we show students that people without technology, without privilege, without so much resources have done this, it feels a try sense. Student feel, yes, I can also try that. So the next story I'm bringing here is about the Barefoot College, the real Barefoot College. So this story is about Sanjeet Bankar Roy. He was from a privileged, elite class society, and during his visit in 1965 famine in Bengal, he observed so many disastrous conditions there. He observed, and that contrast, because he was from an elite class, privileged class, and his visit to the area where famine was there, that contrast shook him, that made him question, why is this so? It is not just about poverty, it is about, he was feeling people were working hard, they're facing hardship, even after they are trying a lot in their life to earn their life, to earn in their life, to survive. or even for their survival, they are facing so many problems. Where on the other hand, from his childhood, he saw the privilege was there, resources was there. So that made him decide to move away from the privilege, from the abundance, to the people who are living in scarcity, to the rural world of India. He wanted to work for rural world, rural India. So he moved to a place in Rajasthan, Tilonia. That place was a place which was drought zone, like it was prone to drought that time. It was facing water scarcity, so and electricity issue, and so many other societal issues were there. So he started working at first on water and irrigation, and after that he converted a Barefoot College, through which he targeted education, water, irrigation, and electricity issue. The belief and the idea of Bunker Roy was self-sustainability. It means to make people of the village so much capable so that uh, they can help themselves. They can be able, like electricity was not like constant, like the problem was there. And he noticed that male members were generally moving to the city for their work because irrigation was an issue. So he decided to train women as solar engineers, because the region in that region sunlight was in abundance, and by installing that solar panels they could sustain locally. No outside system was required. So they started teaching women solar about solar plants, about implanting them, about maintenance and everything. So by this way he led community and made the village community self sustainable. So this kind of innovation, when we say it innovation, it means he noticed several things. He noticed what can be done by noticing males are going outside, women are there. So by teaching them, by upgrading them, by making them educated, and making them able to solve their own problems, this makes this his idea innovative. And along with that solar power system, he just give so many education kind of things, like awareness campaigns or other things in that Barefoot College. This also comes under our entrepreneurship or innovation lesson in our school classrooms. Because when we are sharing this story with our students, we are teaching them, we are giving them a signal that innovation doesn't require privilege. Our local knowledge has value, and if they want to be an innovator, they doesn't require every time the technology, they doesn't require every time so many resources. They just want intention and confidence and responsibility. They can be innovator. So these were the stories, and now the traits that help students become innovators. The traits are actually the pointers. When we are talking about innovation with students, it may confuse the student. So these are some of the key pointers which we can share with the student. If a student is empathetic means if a student can feel the pain of the other, and they can uh, they can just think any idea so that the pain can be relieved. By that way, they can be empathetic. They must be a problem finders, risk taker. They must have network, because when we are talking about innovation or entrepreneurship, we must interdependence. We must follow interdependence, because alone we cannot do so many things. So these are actually traits which we can share with our students. So now, when we are talking about practical strategies, the next thing is opening our classroom window to the real world. It's not about taking our class to the field trips or doing something extraordinary. It is about bringing our real world inside our classroom. How? By doing project work, by giving them real life work, by doing observation based tasks, by encouraging group work, or creating some opportunities which are uh, by some opportunities which are student driven. And most, along with that, one most important thing which we can do is about building small changes. When we are checking their answers, or when we are giving them feedbacks, we are highlighting those kind of behaviors, those kinds of skills which we are continuously talking about, like thinking, which behavior, these kind of things. So we need not to do extra effort, just simple shifts are there. Along with that, we can also do one thing. If we can bring these kind of responses in our own behavior as teacher, we will definitely be able to inculcate 21st century skills, entrepreneurial or innovation mindset in our students. Because as in our traditional education, we just say follow instruction. Instead of that, when we use what made you think so, give me one reason, we are encouraging our student to think on their own. When a student makes mistake, instead of saying to redo it without any other word, it will go anywhere. It will not improve his learning condition. We can say, what did you learn from this attempt, and what will you change this time? We can, if the child is suggesting some change, we can ask, okay, tell me. We can test your idea at small scale. When a child takes time, instead of saying hurry up and finish, we can ask, which part are you struggling with the most? By saying this, we are taking his thinking, taking his attention to the specific part where he is having problem. So our the way we respond to our children, to our student, it is very important, and it is actually a trigger point through which we can inculcate our these kind of mindsets. Now, I would like to ask you one more question here. Praveen sir, would you put the question here? Which small shift feels most doable for you? Is it asking better questions? Is it allowing mistakes as learning? Is it encouraging student ideas? Or is it focusing on process? Which feels most doable for you right now? Asking better question, is it comfortable? Is it a small shift you can do tomorrow in your class? Allowing mistakes. Okay. Encouraging student ideas. Yeah. So that's how encouragement. Okay. Most of our audience are agree with the encouragement. Okay. So now one more thing remains. When we are talking about the practical shifts or the practical strategies to be applied in our classroom, one more thing we can do, it is introducing youth role models. These role models are basically the young youth which are local and which are solving everyday problems. And we need not to target prize like progress, like we have to target the students which have made progress within our local system or national system, and whose ideas are simplest on honest work is there around. When we are introducing these kind of role models, innovation becomes feel like children feel achievable, not rare. The focus shift from big success to meaningful action. One of those role model is Tilak Mehta. He was 13 years when he founded Paper and Parcels. It started with just small inconvenience. He went to his maternal uncle's home and he left his books there. And when he said his father to bring those books back, father was busy, couldn't bring them. So he was just searching on the internet that about the courier services and all. So he found these courier services are actually charging so much above than the cost of the books, more than them. So that inconvenience, that frustration, uh, just start like having these kind of inconvenience. He had the idea of starting Paper and Parcels. But having idea is not enough. What he did next was really intelligent. He he just observed that Mumbai had one another reliable, trusted, and organized delivery system, which was Dabbawalas. Without any app or without any fancy technology, they deliver their food to more, means like it is a large network in the world. So he partnered with them to create effective and like speedy delivery of papers, of logistics documents. And he just not started, he just uh, he ran effectively, and along with that he continued his study and managed also. This entrepreneurship, it doesn't only show that idea alone is enough. It shows when we are having the idea, we need to think that how we can manage along with our studies, how we can make it simpler, how we make it effective also, and how we can use the existing system to achieve our outcome. And the next example is Pooja Pal. She is from just a small village from UP Baramati. When she was in class 8, she observed the air around her school was filled with dust because of a thresher, a grain thresher. People around her, and she himself, she had some health issues, coughing problem was there. It was they are having difficulty in breathing. So that problem unsettled her. She started thinking what can be done for it. She discussed with her science teacher, and with his help, she developed a cost effective dust control attachment for the threshers. So that's how she became an innovator, which didn't innovate it through lots of resources, through with lots of technology. That her solution was just a simple fan which was adjusted and attached with the thresher, which was practical, simple to use in villages. And her intention was not to build some fancy thing. Her intention was to just reduce air pollution and health. We call her work innovation because it started with a real life observation, local problem. It used local context and constraint creatively, focused on impact and usefulness. So that's how her story can be shared with our student, and these kind of role models can be invited in our school, in our classroom, taking help of virtual tools, any tools. Even if we do one session in 1 month or 2 months, that is enough. Because when students see children of their own age are doing something meaningful, it is not about something fancy achievement, it is about actually creating impact. So when they see children of their age are creating impact, then they will be motivated to do their own like action, to activate their thinking, to notice problems around them, to having ideas, to trying ideas, something like that. So this is the most practical thing which we can apply immediately. And to just amplify the thinking patterns of our children, we have so many national platforms supporting students' innovation and entrepreneurship also. They are giving opportunity to our students to really practice these 21st century skills and NEP skills. These government-led initiatives are Atal Innovation Mission, School Youth Ideathon, School Innovation Mission, and National Innovation Foundation. You must have your students must have participated in those platforms, and these are actually providing thinking routes. They are providing assistance in upgrading students' thinking pattern, which one to choose. Because when we are talking about thinking ideas, we need to give our student the confidence that yes, your thinking matters. So when we are connecting our children, our student with the national platforms, they build confidence, and that's what we need. Along with that national platforms, global platforms are also available, which actually encourage students. Some are UN aligned innovation platforms which focuses on sustainability, ethics, social impact, and climate change. There is another platform designed for change, which is actually empathy led, student driven problem solving platform, which is active in 60 plus countries. So that's how uh, we can inculcate entrepreneurial and innovation mindset in our student, focusing 21st century skills, because after all, our true purpose of education is to meet the need of the student changed as per the environment has changed. So these entrepreneurial and innovation mindset and these skills are actually methods which give our students the learning spaces to try to actually practice those skills. And these skills, 21st century skills, can be developed only through practice. Clear thinking, decision making, responsibility, practice. Okay, thank you so much. After that, at the end, I just want to know from all of you, as question number 5, which one word you are taking back from today's session? Which one word you are taking back from today's session? Okay, okay. Thank you so much for your comments. I will motivate students for entrepreneurship locally. Practicing meaningfully can change behavior positively. Reflection as well as practice, innovation. Okay, innovation. Four C's. Okay, thank you so much. Empathy with the world. Very nice. Creativity, innovation. So, thank you so much, everyone. I hope you may have, like, that session may have helped you in any way. You can help me, you can reach me, like, to build these kind of skills, uh, to help students in innovation and entrepreneurship platforms, to help in getting ideas, to build those kind of behaviors or traits which are actually essential for surviving in today's world. You can reach me out through my LinkedIn account, or you can reach me through my YouTube. I have, like, now I have Santa network, so through Santa also you can reach me. Yes, so thank you so much for your responses. In redefine our roles as mentors and facilitators. Empathy. Thank you so much for your responses. We are taking back one word as empathy, as innovation, as encouragement, as behavior. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today. We hope you found the session informative. Thank you, Pooja ma'am, for a very engaging and informative session for our community of teachers. I'm sure that teachers have a lot of takeaways from this session. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Anju ma'am.
Thank you. I thank you for joining the session. I hope you found it informative. Now, if you have registered and filled out the feedback form for the session, please check out your participation record in the my learning section of the website. Also, I'll guide you through the instructions required to download the Centa webinar participation record. Open the Centa app on your device, navigate to the ongoing webinar session. There's a click on submit feedback button. Please note that this option will be available after 6 p.m. At the end of the session, I will be sharing a 4-digit code which is scrolling down the screen. The code for today's feedback form is 1668. Please repeat, note 1668. You can fill in the feedback form with the code, complete the feedback form, and you will be able to download your record of participation instantly. This process was introduced to streamline your experience and ensure your participation is instantly recognized. Thank you for your active participation for today's session and we appreciate your engagement. Now, to register for more upcoming webinars, please visit Centa app. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Thank you so much.